So I am here accompanied by Dhruv to talk on the topic, can online education and school learning become the future of Indian education? So what do you think about that?
No, Shivam, I don't think that the online learning or the homeschooling could become the future of Indian education system.
Can you give some disadvantages while explaining your opinion?
Yeah, there are a lot of disadvantages of the online learning. As first of all, we have our view that online learning is not directly physically with the teacher, so a child can do anything or view anything at home. And due to this, many of the children are lacking proper education, and a lot of them are from those classes whose parents are both are working, so no one is there to have an eye over their
Okay,
children.
so according to you, supervision is necessary for it.
Yeah, that is
So, according to your opinion, physical presence of the teacher and the student is necessary for good education.
yeah. If we talk about the ancient India, that is known as the home of wide amount of knowledge, they also prefer the physical knowledge in spite of having such and such stuff. As keeping an eye on the children physically than digitally is way more better than.
Yeah, I also agree with that. So, can you name some online learning platforms?
Yeah, there are a lot of online learning platforms, and especially in India, we can find Byju's and Vedantu, Physics Wala, a lot more than that.
Okay, so do you think that these online platforms are up to par with the standard of offline education you are getting in the schools and other offline institutes?
Yeah, there are some cases that the online teaching is much better than the physical interaction between the children and the teacher. But there are a lot more cases. About 80% of the students do not know how to use their smartphones or the digital network appropriately. So you can say that about 20% of the children are getting that amount of knowledge or extracting the benefit from the online learning. The rest of them are just ruining their lives.
So, as you have experienced a trial kind of during the pandemic of online education, so how was your experience during that?
Yeah, we are about studying 7 hours a day in 10th class, while if we went on to the next, that is in the 11th class, it was all digital, and a person cannot focus in the digital education. One could have a rest time, and one could have a proper
Yeah,
timetable. If we
meaning
talk
timetable
about,
became hectic kind of.
yes, one can do anything at any time. As he can leave the class without any teacher knowing, and then giving a reason that he or she is ill without any evidence. So
Okay. So you see the future of education in this online platform or not in further 20 years or 40 years?
yeah, there could be a scope of online learning system in the future generations, but now it's been very much difficult for the children, especially in the children of developing countries, so as to compensate with the online learning. As this online learning has even the positive impacts in the COVID-19 time, but there are a lot more than that negative effects on the children and their mind. They are just brainwashed in these 2 years.
Okay, so I may go personal on the next question. Do you think you can get the same percentage in your 11th while you are offline and online studying?
Uh,
There may be some difference.
Yeah, there would be a 2 to 3% difference, because I am a kind of person that had handled the time, even if it's late, but that's all right. But there are a lot more, like my cousin could not bear the stress that he get on the last days of the exam when he hadn't studied the whole year from the online teaching. So I must say that a determined person can do this, but not a regular child who is being disturbed by all of this
Can
stuff.
you tell us some problems you faced during the pandemic period in your online classes?
Yeah, especially the children living in the village areas or the remote areas, they have.
I'm just asking your opinion, not as a whole, your personal experience.
Okay, okay.
So as to continue the previous question, can you name some problems you faced during the online education?
Yeah, in the past 2 years, I've been just reading all of this stuff online, as this is very much difficult to get an physical or the offline coaching in those days. So the basic problem I face is of the network issue. That is, I know that, and we all know that the India is a developing country, and there are some remote areas where the signal connectivity is not enough. So as to compensate with the online teaching, as one must require a high internet speed. So internet speed or connectivity is the basic problem, as I have to left the class in between. And the second is that I could not make the notes properly, as we are guided by the teachers in the school that this is wrong and this is right. That difference is just vanished away.
Okay, according to you, physical interaction or presence of teacher is necessary for the child to perform better. Do you think that the online classes was able to do that?
No, Shivam, I don't think that it could be substituted, because digital learning is quite on the other hand of the schooling that we get in the past 75 years. Because in the past 75 years, we can say that there are a lot more interaction between a teacher and a student that could bloom the minds of the children. As one could say that it cannot be.
Are you satisfied with the current schooling system, or do you want to add some digital elements in the current schooling system we are having?
Yes, there could be a schooling system like American schooling system, in which the children can bring the smartphones and in the school and iPads in the school. And this could be like the schooling in Japan also, in which children or the teachers allow them to get the phones and the iPads in the school and just keep it to the teacher, so that in necessary time they can use it or utilize
So,
it.
can you see any future in the online or digital education?
No, I don't think that there could be, but yeah, there is a little amount of probability that we could get it in a future generation if such kind of things are just prevail.
Okay, thank you, Dhruv. That was some wonderful answers. We will meet again.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So I am here accompanied by my group members Pulkit and Sahil, talking on the topic online learning and education. Can it become the future of Indian education? First, do you think online learning and schooling can become the future of Indian education, Pulkit?
Yes, it can become the future of India.
What about you, Sahil?
Yes. As the children are comfortable with it, so it can take place of the old schooling system.
So, can you name some advantages?
The first main advantage is time management. A person can manage time according to him, and he is not
Bounded by schedule. Okay.
bounded by schedule.
What about you, Sahil? Your opinion?
One is self-comforting this,
One have self-comfort. Okay.
and there is wide spectrum of education.
Okay. He can gain education in a wide spectrum. Okay. So, can you name some platforms where online education is distributed, whether free or paid?
Online education has become a very big education system nowadays. There are many platforms like Vedantu, Edumantra, Byju's, where we can get education according to our problems and schedules.
Okay. Do you think that these institutes have become a sort of company, like they are doing business in education?
Yes, it's the initial period of this online education. So we can say this, as no person have general knowledge about the education.
But many are free also.
Yeah, I see that many courses are free, but some are paid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can say
some are paid. So, there are some instances where we have to pay for the quality education, but for standard stuff, it's free. So, do you think it's fair, or that all should be free?
it's fair, because according we see the old education system, we have to also pay the transportation fees, and the education is, the person is not satisfied with the education. He has many doubts, but in this type of education he can resolve it
Okay, so
by direct conversation with teacher.
okay, so online conversations are available here.
Yes.
So, how was your experience during online education during pandemic?
It was good, not as good as on the book and marks related, but it was good as related to gaining knowledge.
So, you were able to score good.
Yes, we can able to score good, but this time we have no idea of what about the future, because the schools are telling us that they are opening, so we are not able to decide our planning that
What
we
about
have.
you, Sai?
The time management was really very bad.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It was initial bit.
So, do you think that all this hectic schedule led to your decrease in percentage?
Yeah.
So, would you be able to score better if you were offline? But you prefer online education. Why is that?
Because there was external pressure by the teachers, which make us feel depressed.
No, what is there are many.
Okay, take your time.
There are many problems that the school is very away from our house.
What about you,
I
Sai?
think also many topics are related which are only discussed face to face with teacher interactions.
And in the online class, we are not able to
Connect
connect
correctly.
with the teachers
So
correctly.
you have network problems and etc. Okay. So can you see the future of education in this digital form?
Yes, it's a widespread future of this education, because as you can see that there are many schools which are based only on activities, not on education. So it can be there.
I think no,
Summer vacation schools are online. I can see that future.
What about you, Sai?
I think no, but in upcoming 20 or 40 years it can be.
So you want to fully digitalize or only include some element of the digital concept?
Some
Some
elements.
elements.
It can be 3 days in a week
Yeah.
online.
Okay. So this is your opinion in this case. Thank you for your great answers. We will meet again. Thank you.